Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Magnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savarutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhupya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyabhari Pashadya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Haribol. So today we read this Śrī Īśopaniṣad because Sunday is the Goshti. We are gonna have this Prahlad Prabhu is gonna have this Sastrasara session of Śrī Īśopaniṣad. So Kartik Prabhu asked us to read this. So that's why we are reading it now. But I'm not sure if okay, we can read the introduction too.
I think they have dropped the idea for the exam for nectar of instruction at least. Or not sure because I have not done any preparation or nothing. I didn't even join the lectures or reading sessions on that.
Yes, Prabhu, I think we
It's
won't
better
have
to
the
move to some
exam
other
yet.
topics from scratch. We will do Īśopaniṣad. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay, I think we
Mhm.
can read the introduction also. Haribol. Teachings of the
Oh,
Vedas. Deliver. Oh, you wanted to read, Prabhu. Yes, you can read first.
uh, okay, Prabhu. It's okay if you want to read. I'll read otherwise. Introduction Teachings of the Vedas, delivered as a lecture by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada on October 6, 1969 at Conway Hall, London, England. Ladies and gentlemen, today's subject matter is the teachings of the Vedas. What are the Vedas? The Sanskrit verbal root of Veda can be interpreted variously, but the purport is finally one. Veda means knowledge. Any knowledge you accept is Veda. For the teachings of the Vedas are the original knowledge. In the conditioned state, our knowledge is subjected to many deficiencies. The difference between a conditioned soul and a liberated soul is that the conditioned soul has four kind of defects. The first defect is The first effect is that he must commit mistakes. For example, in our country, Mahatma Gandhi was considered to be a very great personality, but he committed many mistakes. Even at the last stage of his life, his assistant warned Mahatma Gandhi, don't go to the New Delhi meeting. I have some friends and I have heard there is danger. But he did not hear. He persisted in going and was killed. Even great personalities like Mahatma Gandhi, President Kennedy, there are so um, many of them make mistakes. To err is human. This is one defect of the conditioned soul. Another defect to be illusioned. Illusion means to accept something which is not. Maya. Maya means what is not. Everyone is accepting the body as the cells. If I ask you what you are, you will say, I am Mr. John, I am a rich man, I am this, I am that. All these are bodily identifications. But you are not this body. This is illusion. The third effect is the cheating propensity. Everyone has the propensity to cheat others. Although a person is fool number one, he poses himself as very.
Hmm.
Okay, Haribol, something happened to Rahul Prabhu's internet.
Although it is already pointed out. So what should we do then?
You can read Prabhu Haribol.
Although it is already pointed out that he is an illusion and makes and makes mistakes, he will theorize and think this this, but he does not even know his own position. He writes the book of philosophy, although he is defective. That is his disease. That is cheating. Lastly, our senses are imperfect. Why are we are very proud of our eyes. Often someone will challenge, can you show me God? But do you have the eyes to see God? You will never see if you haven't the eyes. If immediately the room becomes dark, you cannot even see your hand. What power do you have to see? So we cannot therefore expect knowledge with these imperfect senses, with all these deficiencies. In condition life, we cannot give perfect knowledge to anyone, nor are we ourselves perfect. Therefore, we accept the Vedas as they are. You may call the Vedas Hindu, but only with a foreign name. You're not Hindu. Origin representation is Varnashama. Varnashama denotes the followers of Veda. Those who accept the human society in eight divisions of Varna and Asana. There are four divisions of society and four divisions of social life. That is called Varna and Asana. It is stated in PG 4.13. These divisions are everywhere because they are created by law. These divisions of society even are the clear of consider. Dharma refers to the well-intelligent class of men, those who do not know what is formula, those who know what is Brahman. Similarly, the 50 years the administrative group are the next intelligent class of men, and the rest are the mercantile group. These are national classification found everywhere. This is the Vedic principle, and we accept it. Vedic principles are accepted as axiomatic truth, but there cannot be anything. That is acceptance. For instance, in India, cow dung is accepted as pure, yet cow dung is the stool of an animal. In one place, you'll find the Vedic instruction that if you touch the stool, you have to take the bath immediately. But in another place, it is said that the stool of cow is pure. If you see a cow dung on a body, you see a cow dung in an impure place that becomes pure. With our ordinary sense, we can argue that is contradictory. Actually, it is contradictory from ordinary point of view, but it is not false. It is, in fact, in Calcutta, a very prominent scientist and doctor analyzed how condoms is cowdung and found out that it contains all antiseptic properties. And if one person tells another, you must do this, the other party may say that, what do you mean? This is a Vedic instruction that I have to follow without any argument. Vedic instruction cannot be interpreted, but ultimately, if someone scroll down. If you very carefully study why these instructions are there, you'll find that these are all correct. Not they are all correct. The Vedas are not compilation of human knowledge. This knowledge comes from the source, evolved from Lord Krishna. The name of Vedas is Shruti. Shruti refers to the knowledge which is heard hearing. It is not experimental knowledge. Shruti is considered to be like a mother. We take so much knowledge from our mother. For example, if you want to know who your father is, who can answer you? Your mother. If your mother says, and it's your father, you have to accept it. It is not possible to experiment and find out who is your father. Similarly, if you want to know something beyond your experience, beyond your experimental knowledge, beyond the activities of the material of the senses, then you have to accept the Vedas. There is no question of experimental, it has already been experimented, it is already studied. The virgin of mother, for instance, has to be accepted too. There is no other way. The Vedas are considered to be a mother. And Ramanas are called the grandfather, the forefather, because he, uh, the others are, the Vedas are considered to be mother, and Brahma is called to be the grandfather, the forefather, because he was the first one to be instructed in Vedic knowledge. On the beginning, the first living creature was Brahma. He received Vedic knowledge and got it to Narada and then others and his sons. And then they also distributed to their disciples. In this way, the logical ground will fix mission on it is different from the Bhagavad Gita knowledge and that's understood in this way. If you ignore the experimental endeavor, you will come to the same conclusion. But just to save you time, you should accept it. If you want to know who your father is, you just accept your mother as authority and mother teacher can be accepted without any argument. There are three kinds of evidence. Lakshya, Anumana, Shraddha. Lakshya means direct evidence. That evidence is not very good, but I think it is not very perfect. We see the subtle alien, it appears to us just like a small disk, but it is actually far inland, far larger than many planets. What is the value of this scene? Therefore, we have to read if we can understand about the sun. There is no direct experience. It is so that so direct experience is not perfect, and there is anomaly and depth of knowledge. It may be like this hypothesis, for instance, Darwin theory is says it may be like this, it may be like that, but it is not science. That is just a suggestion, and that is also not perfect. But if you receive knowledge from authoritative sources, that is perfect. If you receive program guide from a radio station authorities, you accept it. We do not deny it. We don't have to make an experiment because it is a secret authoritative source. We acknowledge that Brahmana, another name is Sriti. Sriti means that it's not that this is knowledge and has to be received simply by oral reception. The universe instruct that in order to understand excellent knowledge, you have to hear from an authority. As knowledge is from beyond this universe, within this universe, material knowledge, and beyond this universe, transcendental knowledge. We cannot even go in the end of the universe. So how can we go to the space world? Thus, the personal knowledge is impossible. There is spiritual sky, another nature which is beyond manifestation and non-manifestation. But how will you know that there is a sky with planets and the inhabitants are eternal? All this knowledge is there, but how will you make experiment? It is not possible. Therefore, you have to take the distance of Vedas. That is the way knowledge. Like perhaps movement, we are accepting knowledge from the rest authority, Krishna, and Krishna is accepted as authority by all classes of man, and taking first of the two classes of the if one class translator is called one class of translator is called impersonalist. They generally know the Vedantas that Dasankaracharya, and there is another class called Vaishnavas, like Ramanacharya, with Madhvacharya, Vishnu Swami, both as Shankara Sampradaya, but West Sampradaya have accepted the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which has supposed to be an impersonalist, but who preached impersonalism was definitely normal, but due to the fact that he covered the personalist in this commentary, on the Bhagavad Gita, he wrote Narayana Supreme Personality that is beyond cosmic manifestation and then again confirmed that is that's the personality of Godhead. And then again he confirmed that the personality of Godhead is Krishna is coming some other and was very particularly mentioned the name of his father and mother's parents could have been personality of Godhead. There is no doubt about it. So our knowledge one source our source of knowledge is the philosophy of Bhagavad which comes directly from Krishna. We have Bhagavad Gita as it is because we accept Krishna speaking without any interpretation. That is the big one. Hence, knowledge is pure. Whenever knowledge is pure, we accept it. Without we accept there is no us. That's it. Like that saves us so much time if you accept right authority and the source of knowledge. Right? And you can save much time. For example, there are two systems of knowledge in material or inductive and deductive. From deductive, you accept the man as model from your father. Your father says the man is model. Your sister says the man is model. Everyone says the man is model. But if you do not experiment, you'll accept it as a fact that the man is model. But if you were to research and find out that the man is model, then you have to study each and every man and come to think of it, there may be some man without dying, but you're not seeing him yet. So, unless the research would be now finished. In fact, this process is called Arohan, by ascending process, not obtain knowledge by any personal leader. By exercising your imperfect sense, which will never come to the right conclusion. That is not possible. There is a statement in the world that I just ride an aeroplane which runs at the speed of noise. Our material aeroplanes can run 2,000 miles per hour. But what is the speed of noise? You're sitting at home, you immediately think of India, then say it 1,000 miles away, at once it is at your home. Your mind has gone there. The mind is so swift, therefore it is so this stated, if you travel at the speed of millions of years, you'll find that the speed is unlimited. It is not possible to even approach it, therefore the very assumption that one must approach the word compulsory is used. It is not possible to even approach it, but the main action is that one must approach the word compulsory is used. A bona fide mission must have a and what is the qualification of the switch master? You are slightly heard the rating message from the right source and must be practically sound. Established remember there are two qualities you must have, otherwise you is not bona fide. These are the two qualities you must have. You are likely heard the rating message from the right source and you must be practically convinced. Dissertation of movement was completely authorized and responsible Right? We type it happened that that's the name of the research is now it's found that Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita is also stated um Lord Krishna and that has innumerable forms, but they are all one. They are not like our forms which are fallible. His form is infallible. My form has a beginning, but his form has no beginning. In Vedanta, his forms has so many multiforms. So many multiforms and I have no end. My form is sitting here and not in one part. You are sitting there and not in your part. Bhagavad has everywhere and at one time. You can sit down and look over window and at the same time he's everywhere. All the reading is all. He's the original oldest. But you never look, but whenever you take a look at pictures, and you find a young boy, 15, 20 years old, you'll never find an old man. You have seen pictures of Krishna, the charity from the Vidyadhara. At that time, he was not less than 100 years old. He had grandchildren, but he looked just like a boy. Krishna never becomes old, that is his super supreme power. And if you want to search that by Krishna, by studying Vedic nature, then you'll find, and you'll be baffled. And it may be possible that, but it may be, but it is very difficult, but you can very easily know about it from a devotee and devotee into you, he used to. That is the potency of Krishna devotee. Originally, there was only one Veda, and there was no necessity of reading it. Hmm. Caesar was so intelligent that and had so much sharp memories that by once hearing from the little Sutram, they would understand and they would immediately grasp the whole problem. But 5,000 years ago, after we put the Vedas in the writing for the people in this age, so we know that eventually people will be done will be short-lived, their memories will be very poor and intelligence will not be very sharp. Therefore, let me teach his Vedic knowledge in writing. He divided Vedas into four Yag, Rag, Sama, Atharva, Yajur, and Yajur. Then he gave the charge of these Vedas to his different disciples whom he thought of less intelligent class men. Three Shuddha and Tejabandhu. He considered a woman class as Shuddha class, Bhava class, and Tejabandhu. Tejabandhu refers to those who are born in a high family but who are not properly qualified. A man who is born in a family of Yamuna but is not qualified as a Yamuna is called Tejabandhu. For these persons, we compiled the Mahabharata, called the History of India, and the Vedic Puranas. These are all part of the Vedic literature. The Puranas, Mahabharata, and the four Vedas and the Upanishads and the Upanishads are part of Vedas. And then yes, they were summarized all the Vedic knowledge for the scholars and philosophers, and in is what is called the Vedanta Sutra. This is the last word of Vedas. Vyasa personally wrote Vedanta Sutra and wrote a section of his Guru Maharaj as Guru Maharaj's devotion master, but he was not still satisfied. That is a long story. And it is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam that Vyasa was not very satisfied even after compiling the Puranas. And so, so we scroll through and Upanishad, and even after writing it, Putra then his special master Narada instructed him to explain the Vedanta further. Vedanta means ultimate knowledge. And the ultimate knowledge is Krishna. To say that what the Vedas, one has to understand things without the way the way which him Krishna says, I am the compiler of the Vedas, which I am the knower of the Vedas. Therefore, ultimate objective is Krishna. That is explained in all the national priorities on Vedanta, which is philosophy. Therefore, God universe have often want to Vedanta philosophy and the Kongan Bhasha, but then they devotions and Indira Raja has the commentary and Madhavacharya as well, and the version of The ultimate commentary, the version of Shankaracharya is not only commentary. There are many Vedanta commentaries, but because Vaishnava did not present the first Vedanta commentary, people are under illusion, wrong impression that Shankaracharya is the only Vedanta. Yes. The only Vedanta has the wrong impression that Shankaracharya is the only Vedanta commentary. Besides that, Vladimir himself wrote the perfect commentation of the Vedanta, and it becomes the first word of Vedanta Sutra. Janmadhyasya Yatah SB 1.1.1.1. Janmadhyasya Yatah is fully explained and shown about the rest of the simply hints that what is Brahman, the absolute truth. The absolute truth is that from whom uh, everything originates, everything emanates. That is the summary, but it is explained in detail in why the everything is relative and understood and what is the nature of the truth. What is the explanation about and the absolute truth must be conscious, we self-effulgence thereof. We must develop our consciousness and use knowledge by receiving knowledge from others. For him, it is said that he self-effulgent, the whole summary Vedic knowledge is the Vedanta Sutra, and the Vedanta Sutra is told by the right himself in Srimad Bhagavatam. And school. We finally pushed those who are actually of the Vedic knowledge, try to understand explanation of all Vedic knowledge, actually about it and about it. It's about it.
Haribol. Hare Krishna, Bang Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Jat Prabhu, Dandat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Pranjal Prabhu, for reading the introduction.
Haribol Prabhu, Dandat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada, Haribol.
Haribol. Thank you so much for joining Prose. Okay, who will read the first verse? Lebang Prabhu.
Oh, Prabhu, I'm still busy right now, Prabhu.
Okay. Maybe Rahul Prabhu can read if his internet connection is stable. Okay, Haribol, I can start also invocation. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Word to word. Oh, Gaura Shakti Prabhu joined.
Oh, Prabhu, I've heard this mantra somewhere, before I joined. So now I'm surprised.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam
Yeah.
Purnam Udachyate.
Oh, Prabhu, I think it's from a lady called Deva Pramal. Yeah, he used to sing such.
This is from the This is the temple album. I forgot.
Okay, Prabhu. Are Gaura Shakti Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances of glory to Shri Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, dear Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances of Lord Shri Prabhupada.
Thank
So
you.
this is Śrī Īśopaniṣad, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
The mantra one.
Yes, Prabhu, invocation mantra.
Yeah. Did the reading session start yet? Or?
Yes, Prabhu. So it's this one. Maybe you have heard it in this one. I remembered it from this song.
Oh, yes.
Who is inventing?
Okay, who wants to continue? Maybe Gaurav Shakti Prabhu can read.
I'm driving, Prabhu,
Yes,
and
Prabhu.
my tooth is very like painful now, so
Oh, yes, Prabhu. Yes, I hope
I will just listen for now. Please forgive me.
it's okay, Prabhu. When did it get worse?
Okay. From yesterday it begins to, causing me trouble, but now it's quite okay, but sometimes it will hurt very badly, and I can't even talk, properly.
Yes, Prabhu.
So I just try to get some rest, and I hope that, soon everything will be all right again.
Yes, Prabhu. I'm praying to Lord Nrsimhadev for your better health.
Thank you. Thank you very much, dear Prabhu. Thank you. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai.
God Shakti Prabhu, do you have any symptoms? I can tell from symptoms itself. I am very much uh, known about tooth. I know tooth issues. Do you have any external
Oh,
symptoms?
actually, Prabhu, I know what it is. Perhaps in English I
Okay.
can't express myself, but like this is the tooth that usually they don't grow, but they will grow after sometimes, when you become adult.
Wisdom teeth. I am not sure about that, but
Oh, it's
uh,
called, Prabhu, I think it's called wisdom tooth, some wisdom teeth,
Yes,
something like
yes,
that.
Chan Mari.
yes, yes. So this is that, this is those tooth who try to
Normally, if there is
grow.
an issue, then you have to just extract the tooth. They will put anesthesia and extract the tooth, and it will be all right.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, but
Otherwise, they do some
I
cavity, root canal, those kind of things are also there. They take longer time. Otherwise, they just extract the painful tooth. There's some
yeah,
bacteria or like that. Sorry, I know
yes,
I've gone through these things myself. So
Yes, Prabhu.
yes, yes. I asked the doctor. He said to me that actually, uh, like the tooth is not like disturbing anything. It's growing very steadily and very, there is no problem. He said there is no point to just extract them because
Okay, that's good.
there's no problem, but sometimes it's not often. Sometimes during 1 year, for 2 days, 3 days, when it grows, then
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
I
Prabhu.
feel
Yeah, that happened
yeah,
actually
I
to me
feel
too. But yeah, I remember this. Yes, Prabhu. When mine was growing, they also did this that the side for like 1 month it used to hurt a lot. That side it kept pushing, but now they all came out and they said to their places. So now they are not moving
yeah,
anymore for me. So I think it
yeah,
will go
yeah,
away like that.
yeah. So for a few days, it will bother me, and it will be painful, but
Yes,
then,
Prabhu. Yeah, it will go away.
everything, yeah.
You need to bite your
So,
tooth a little bit so it will like go onto its place properly.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I just try to make sure that, I can rest properly, and I know also I have some medicinal herbs, knowledge.
Yes,
So I can take some medicinal herb also. So everything will be quite okay, but it's very painful, really. Like
yes, Prabhu.
you
Yeah, I
have some
remember.
fever, and
Yeah,
yeah, it's really hard.
yes,
But nonetheless, I will be there. I will attend the station as much as I can, and I will be in Brahma Muhurta, and I will change my round. I will do this, no problem. But yeah, I can barely sometimes sleep, only 1 or 2 hours because it's too painful.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, I think it will soon go away. Now it's just moving like.
Yeah, it will. It will.
Yes,
Yeah,
Prabhu. Other than that,
I
there
would
is
like to
something.
take those painkiller, but I have some, I don't know how to say that. Like if I take those, I have some bad effect, after effect. Like my
Like,
body is not uh how to say that. My body is rejecting those type of things,
or is it for
like
both
the
from
pain.
the ibuprofen and the
Hmm?
paracetamol? Is it both?
Yeah, yeah,
Because there
yeah,
are two types. Yes, Prabhu.
yeah. Ibuprofen, I don't like because the body
Usually they hurt
reject.
the stomach a lot.
Yeah, so I take some medicinal herbs, a
Yes,
very
Prabhu.
strong one. I have those in my garden, so I will be okay. It's okay. Usually when I have those type of toothache, I use medicinal herb, and after a few days, it's okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
So
This way.
and also I can offer this medicinal herb to Krishna. So it's prasad. So it's better to consume this.
Yes, Prabhu.
Come from my garden. So
Prabhu.
this is the way that if we can, I will try to always remain on the natural way. Because my body is rejecting, all those chemical things.
Yes, Prabhu. I never take them also.
It's not so good for me.
Yes, Prabhu. Same. I never took them. Because they tried to give me like 10 different medicines
Yeah.
for my
Okay.
stomach
Thank you
also.
very much, Rao Prabhu, for your insight. Thank you very much. Thank you very much,
Thank you
Sami
so much.
Prabhu, Rivam Prabhu. Thank you very much. All glory Shri Prabhupada.
Who wants to continue reading?
Yes, Prabhu again.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Om, the complete whole, Purnam, perfectly complete, Ada, that, Purnam, perfectly complete, Idam, this phenomenal world, Purnat, from the whole perfect, Purnam, complete unit, Udachite, is produced, Purnasya, of the complete whole, Purnam, complete all, Adaya, Adaya, having been taken away, Purnam, complete balance, Eva, even, Avisyasya, is remaining, translation. So the personality of God is perfect and complete, and because he is completely perfect, all emanations from him, such as his phenomenal world, is perfectly perfect as complete wholes. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself, because he is the complete whole. Even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains complete, balance, purport. The complete whole, or the supreme personality of supreme absolute truth, is the uh, complete personality of Godhead. Realization of impersonal Brahman or Paramatma, the soul, is complete. The realization of the absolute complete, uh, the realization of impersonal Brahman or Paramatma, the super soul, is incomplete. The realization of and incomplete realization of the absolute complete. The supreme personality of Godhead is Satchitananda Brahma Samhita 5.1. Realization of the supreme impersonal Brahman is the realization of his Sat feature or his aspect of eternity, and the realization is the realization of his such and Chit features, his aspects of eternity in knowledge. But realization, but realization of absolute truth is very complete. Up, yeah. But realization of the personality of Godhead is the realization of the transcendental features such as bliss. When one realizes the Supreme Person, he realizes that these aspects of the absolute truth in their completeness. Vigraha means form. Thus, a complete whole is not formless. If he were, if he were formless, yes, I mean, if he were formless, or if he were less than his creation in any other way, he would not be complete. A complete whole must contain everything both within and beyond our experience. Otherwise, he is not complete. The complete whole, the personality of Godhead, has immense potencies, all of which are complete as he is. Thus, this phenomenal world is also complete in itself. The 24 elements of which are this the 24 elements of which is this material universe is temporary manifestation are arranged to produce everything necessary for the maintenance and subsistence of the universe. No other unit in the universe is needed to make an extraneous effort to try to maintain this universe. The universe functions on its own time scale, which is fixed by the energy of the complete whole, and when the schedule is complete, this temporary manifestation will be annihilated by the complete arrangement of the complete whole. Yes, sir. All facilities are given to the small complete units, mainly the living beings, and to enable them to realize the complete whole. All forms of the incompleteness are experienced due to incomplete knowledge of the complete whole. The human form of life is a complete manifestation of the consciousness of living being and is obtained after evolving to 8.4 million species of life in the life cycle of birth and death. If in this human form of life, full of consciousness, the living being does not realize his completeness in relation to the complete whole, he loses his chance and to realize this completeness and is again put into the evolutionary cycle by the law of nature nature waste. But we do not know that this complete arrangement, there is a complete arrangement in nature in our for our maintenance. We make our efforts to utilize the nature's so-called complete sense, complete life or sense enjoyment, but we cannot enjoy life of the senses without being detailed with the complete whole. The misleading life of sense enjoyment is illusion. The end of body is a complete unit only as long as it is attached to the complete body. When the hand is severed from the body, it may appear like a hand, but it is actually not, has non-potencies of the hand. Similarly, living beings are parts and parcel of the complete whole, and if they are severed from the complete whole, the illusionary representation of the completeness cannot fully satisfy him. The, com- the completeness of human life can be realized only when one engages in the service of the complete whole. All the services in the material, all the services in this world, whether social, political, communal, international, or even interplanetary, will remain incomplete until they are dovetailed with the complete whole. When everything is dovetailed with the complete whole, the attached parts and parcels also become complete in themselves. Matra 1.
Edible. Thank you so much, Prabhu. You want to read more?
ईशावास्यमदं सर्वं यत्किञ्चन जगत्यं जगत् तेन तत्तेन भञ्जितम् क्रन्दकस्यधनम्. E7, Lord of wisdom, control in this servum all, yet kincha whatever, jagatyam within the universe, jagat all in the jagat, all that is animate or inanimate. Tena by him, Tena set apart quarter. Vijita, you should accept Madonna. Radha, endeavor to be unpossessed with of anyone else than the wind. Translation: everything animate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the law. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for themselves, which are set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other things, knowing very well to whom they belong. But Vedic knowledge is infallible because it comes down to the perfect disciplic suggestion of spiritual master, beginning with the Lord himself, since he, he spoke the first word of Vedic knowledge. The source of this knowledge is transcendental. The words spoken by the Lord are called apurusasya, which indicates that they are not delivered by any mundane person. A living being who is in the mundane world has four defects. He is certain to commit mistakes, he is subject to illusion, he has a propensity to cheat others, and his senses are imperfect. No one with these four imperfections can deliver the perfect knowledge. The Vedas are not produced by such imperfect creature. Vedas were originally imparted by the Lord into the heart of Brahma, the first ever created living being. And Brahma in his turn disseminated this knowledge into his disciples who had handed it down through history. Since the Lord is Purnam, all perfect, there is no possibility of his being subjected to the laws of material nature which he controls, however, but both the living entities and the inanimate objects are controlled by the laws of nature. And ultimately, by Lord's potency, this Īśopaniṣad is a part of Yajurveda, and consequently, it contains information concerning the proprietorship of all the things existing within the universe. The Lord's proprietorship over everything within the universe is confirmed in the 7 chapters of Bhagavad Gita 7 point from verse 4 to 5, where Para and Aprakriti are discussed. These elements of nature, earth, water, fire, ether, mind, intelligence, and ego all belong to the inferior material energy of Prakriti, whereas living being the organic energy is his superior energy, Prakriti. Both of these Prakriti or energies are emanation from the Lord and ultimately he is the controller of everything that it exists, and there is nothing in the universe that does not belong to either Para or Apara Prakriti, and therefore everything is a property of Supreme Being. Because the Supreme Being, the absolute personality of God, is a pure, complete person, he has complete and perfect intelligence to adjust everything by the means of his different potencies. The Supreme Being often compared to the fire, and everything inorganic and organic is compared to heat and light, just as uh, heat and light of that fire. Just as fire distributes heat and light, or what else do? Just as fire distributes energy in the form of heat and light, the Lord displays energy in different ways. He thus remains the ultimate controller, sustainer, dictator of everything, he is the possessor of all potencies, he is the knower of everything, and the benefactor of everyone. He is full of inconceivable affluence, fame, and beauty, and knowledge, and renunciation. One should therefore be intelligent enough to know that except for the Lord, no one is a proprietor of anything. One should only accept those things which are set aside by the Lord for his quota. The cow, for instance, gives milk, but she does not ask for. Does she ask for? But she does not drink that milk. She eats grass and straw. Another milk is designated for human beings as food for human beings. Such is the arrangement of God. Thus, we should not be yes, we should be satisfied with those things He has kindly set aside for us, and we should always consider to whom those things we possess actually belong. Take, for example, our dwelling, which is made of earth, wood, stone, iron, cement, and so many other material things. So, if we think in terms of Śrī Īśopaniṣad, we must know, we must know, we must know that we must know ourselves that we cannot produce any of these building materials ourselves, but we can simply bring them together and transform them into different shapes by our labor. A laborer cannot claim the proprietor to be the claim to be a proprietor of a thing just because he has worked so hard to manufacture it. So, in modern society, there is always a great quarrel between laborers and the capitalists. This quarrel has taken an international shape and the world is in danger. Men face one another in enmity and snarl just like cats and dogs. Śrī Īśopaniṣad cannot give advice to cats and dogs, but it can deliver the message of God to men. The one of its charges, the old teachers, the human race should take the very wisdom of Īśopaniṣad and no one and not quarrel over material possession. One must be satisfied with whatever privileges he has been are being given to him by the Muslim Lord, and there can be no peace if the communist or the capitalist or any other party claims the proprietorship over the resources of nature, which are entirely the property of the Lord. The capitalists cannot curb the communists simply by political maneuvering, nor can the communists defeat the capitalists simply by fighting for stolen bread. If they do not recognize the proprietorship of the small personality of order, all the property they claim to be their own is stolen. Consequently, they will be liable to punishment by the laws of nature. Nuclear bombs are in the hand of both communists and capitalists, and if both do not recognize the proprietorship of the so both do not recognize the proprietorship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all property they claim will be their own is stolen, consequently they will be liable to punishment by the laws of nature. Nuclear bombs are in the hands of both communists and capitalists, and if both do not recognize the proprietorship of the Supreme Lord, it is certain that these bombs will ultimately ruin both parties. Thus, in order to save themselves and bring the peace to the world, both parties must follow the instruction of Īśopaniṣad. Human beings are not meant to guard like cats and dogs. They must be intelligent enough to realize the importance of human life. The Vedic literature is meant for humanity and not for cats and dogs. Cats and dogs can kill other animals for food without incurring sin. But if a man kills an animal for the satisfaction of his uncontrolled taste buds, he is responsible for the breaking of the laws of nature, and consequently he must be punished. The standards of life for human beings cannot be applied to animals. The tiger does not eat rice or drink cow's milk, but he has been given food in the shape of animal flesh. Among the many birds and animals, some are vegetarians, some are carnivorous, but none of them transgress the law of nature, which had been ordained by the will of Lord. Animals and birds, reptiles, and lower forms strictly adhere to the laws of nature, and therefore there is no question of sin for them, nor are the Vedic instruction actually meant for them. Human life alone is a life of responsibility. It is wrong, however, to think that simply by becoming like an ant, by becoming a vegetarian, and one can avoid transgressing the law of nature. Vegetables also have life, while it's nature's law. Vegetables also have life, and while it's nature's law, so Prabhu can be school that one living being is meant to be fed on another. For human beings, the point is to recognize the Supreme Lord. Thus, one should not be very proud of being a strict vegetarians. Animals do not have developed consciousness by which they wish to recognize the Lord, but human beings sufficiently have the intelligence to take lessons from the Vedic nature, and thereby they know how the laws of nature are working and derive profit out of such knowledge. If a man neglects the instructions of the Vedic literature, his life becomes very wasteful. A human being is therefore required to recognize the authority of the Lord and become a devotee. He must offer everything for the Lord's service and partake only of the remnants of the food offered to the Lord. This will enable him to discharge his proper duty properly. In the BG 926, Lord directly states he accepts a vegetarian food from the hands of a devotee. Therefore, human beings should not only become a strict vegetarian, but also should become devotee to the Lord and offer all this food, and then partake such prasadam by the mercy of God. Only those who act in this way can properly discharge their duties of human life, and those who do not and those who act in such a way can discharge properly the duties of human life, and those who do not offer their food to Lord and eat nothing but sin and subject themselves to various types of distress, which are results of sin. PG 3.13. The root of sin is deliberate disobedience of the laws of nature. Through disregarding the proprietorship of the Lord, disobeying the laws of nature and the uh, order of Lord brings ruin to the human being. Conversely, one who is sober, who knows the laws of nature, and who is not influenced by unnecessary attachment or aversion is sure to be recognized by the Lord, and thus he become eligible to go back to God, by back to God at the eternal home. So mantra 2. Kurvatra karma kurvanev karmani jije vistekchatam sama evam tvai manyate tosti na karma lipyate nare. Kurvan, doing continuously, eva thus, iha during this span of life. Karmi work, Jijivisit, one should desire to live. Satam, 100. Sama, years. Evam, so living. Tvai, onto you. No, no. Anyata, alternative. Ita, from. This path. Asti, there is. Na, not karma work. Lipyate, can be bound. Nari into a man. One may, translation, one may aspire to live for hundreds of years if he continuously goes on working in that way, for that sort of work will not bind him to the laws of karma. There is no alternative to this way for man. Purport, no one wants to die. Everyone wants to live as long as he can drag on. This tendency is not visible not only individually but also collectively in community, society, and a nation. There is a hard struggle of all life by all kinds of living entities, and this the Vedas say that it is quite natural. Living beings are eternal by nature, but due to his bondage in this material existence, he explains his body over and over. This is the process of transformation transformation of soul or karma bandhana. Bondage by one's work, the living entity has to work for his livelihood because that is the law of material nature, and if he does not act according to his prescribed duties, he transgresses the law of nature and binds himself more and more to the cycle of birth and death in many species of life. Page 13. Yes, Prabhu. Others' life are also subject to the cycle of birth. Other life forms are also subject to the cycle of birth and death. But when the living entity attains human life, he gets a chance to get free from all chains of karma. Karma, vikarma are closely and very clearly described in the Bhagavad Gita. Actions that are performed in the terms of one's prescribed duties, as mentioned in the revealed scriptures, are called karma. Actions that are free from the cycle of birth and death are called karma. Actions that are performed to the misuse of one's freedom and that direct ones to the lower life forms is called karma. there is a karma, karma. These three types of action, that which frees one from the bondage or to karma is prescribed, is preferred by intelligent men. Ordinary men which may wish to perform the good work in order to be recognized and achieve some higher status of life in the world or in heaven, but more advanced man wants to be free altogether from the actions and reactions of the material world. Intelligent men will know well that both good and bad equally bind one another, equally bind one to the material miseries. Consequently, they seek that work which is free from the reaction of both good and bad work. Such liberating work is described herein in the pages of Śrī Īśopaniṣad. The instruction of Śrī Īśopaniṣad are more elaborately is are more elaborately explained in the BG, sometimes called the Gita Upanishad, the cream of the all of the Upanishads. In Bhagavad Gita 3:19 to verse 16, 3:9 to verse 16, the personality of Godhead says that I don't know the proposed God, that when attain the state of Naskarma or karma, one cannot attain the state of Naskarma or karma without executing the prescribed duties mentioned in the literature. This literature can regulate the working energy of human beings in such a way that he can gradually realize the authorities of human being and realizes the supreme authority of Godhead Vasudeva Krishna. It is to be understood that he has attained the stage of positive knowledge. In this purified stage, the modes of nature, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance, cannot act, and he is able to work on the basis of naskarma or karma. Such work does not bind one to the cycle, but in that actually no one has to do anything more than render devotion, has to do anything more than render to the devotional service to the Lord. However, if in the lower stages of life one cannot immediately adopt the service of the Lord, one can completely stop the fruitive work. Conditioned soul is accustomed to working for sense gratification, for his own selfish interest, immediate or extended. An ordinary man works for his own sense enjoyment. But when this personal principle of sense enjoyment is extended to include the society, nation, humanity in general, it assumes various names such as altruism, socialism, communism, nationalism, and so many more. Page 15. Let's move. And humanitarianism. These isms are very attractive forms of karma bandhana, karmic bondage, but the Vedic instruction of Śrī Īśopaniṣad is that if one actually wants to if live for any of the above isms, he should make them heart-centered. There is no harm in becoming a family man or an altruist, a socialist, communist, nationalist, or a humanitarian, provided that one executes his activity in the relation with Īśāvaśyadam, the God-centered concept. In the BG 240, Lord Krishna says God-centered activities God-centered activities are so valuable that just a few of them can save a person from the greatest danger. The greatest danger of life is the down again into the danger and gliding down into the evolutionary cycle of working among the 8.4 million species. If somehow or other a man misses the spiritual opportunity afforded by his human form of life and falls down again into the evolutionary cycle, he must be very unfortunate. So Prabhu can slow down. So he must be considered most unfortunate due to his defective senses. A foolish man cannot see that this is happening. Consequently, Śrī Īśopaniṣad advises us to exert our energy in the spirit of Īśopasya. Being so engaged, we may wish to live for many, many years. Otherwise, a long life itself has no value. A tree lives for hundreds of years, but there's no point in living such a long life like a tree, or breathing like bellows, and begetting children like cows and dogs, and eating stool slowly. Page 16. Eating, eating like camels. A humble God-centered life is more valuable than a colossal hoax of life dedicated to godless altruism or socialism. When altruistic activities are executed in the spirit of Shri they become a form of karma yoga. Such activities are recommended in the BG 18.5 to 9, for they guarantee their executors the protection from the danger of sliding down to the evolutionary process of birth and death. Even though such God-centered activities may be half finished, they are still good for executor because they'll guarantee him into human form life in his next birth. So in this way, so so in this way, one can have another chance to improve his position on the path of liberation. How can one execute God-centered activities as elaborately explained in the Bhakti Samachandhu by Sri Rupa Goswami? We have rendered this book into English as the NOD, Nectar Devotion. We recommend this valuable book to those who are interested in performing these activities in the spirit of Śrī Īśopaniṣad. Okay, yes, bro. So mantra 3.
Ribo, who wants to read, or should Pranjal Prabhu continue?
Oh, Pranjal Prabhu is riding bike.
Oh, is he?
Yes, I saw him in helmet.
I was reading from.
Oh, okay. Oh, he stopped the bike. Okay. Yes, Pranjal Prabhu, you continue.
Oh, okay.
And Prabhu, the website you made is so nice, Prabhu. It's amazing. Very, very
Yes, bro.
beautiful website. Yes, I saw today. You made nice changes. Many, many nice changes.
Oh, oh, yes, bro. Surya Nam Teluka Andena Damas Savrata Tamste Peta Vichanti Yakecha Manojana. Surya, meant for the source, Nama, famous by the moon. Telos, Lokan, planets, Andena, by ignorance. Tamasa, by darkness. Avatara, covered, then those planets, they breathe after death, Vichanti, enter into ye anyone, ke everyone, cha and Atmana, the pillars of the soul, Jana persons, and then move on to translation. So, translation. The pillar of the soul, whoever he may be, must enter into the planets known as worlds of faithless, full of darkness and ignorance. Purpose. Human life is distinguished from animal life due to its heavy responsibilities. Those who are cognizant of these responsibilities and those who work in the spirit are called stewards. And those who don't are called asuras. Is that right, Prabhu? Asuras, godly persons, and those who are neglectful of the responsibility or who have no information of them are called asuras or demons. Throughout the universe, there are only two types of human beings. In the Big Bang, it is stated that the asuras always aim at the lowest feet, Lord Vishnu, and act accordingly. These ways are illuminated as the path of the sun. Intelligent human being must always remember that soul obtains human form of life after an evolution of many millions of years and years in cycle of transmigration. The material world is sometimes compared to an ocean, and the human body is compared to a solid boat designed specially to cross this ocean. This, the Vedic scriptures and acharyas or saintly men or devotees, Prabhu move, or saintly Prabhu, can you scroll down? Saintly teachers are compared to expert boatmen, and the facilities of human body are compared to favorable breezes that help the boat ply smoothly to its desired destination. If with all these facilities a human being does not fully utilize his life for self-realization, he must be considered as Atma, a killer of the soul. Śrī Īśopaniṣad wants in clear terms that those who try to kill this, those who are the killer of the soul are destined to enter into the darkest region of ignorance, or ignorance to suffer perpetually. These are swines, dogs, camels, asses, and etc. Those whose economic necessities are just as important to them as to us, but the economic problems of these animals are solved only under nasty and unpleasant conditions. Human life is given all facilities for a comfortable life by the laws of nature, and because of the form of human life is more important and valuable than animal life, why a man is given a better life than a swine or than of other animals? Why is a highly placed government servant given better facilities than those of an ordinary clerk? The answer is that highly placed officer has to discharge duty of higher nature. Similarly, the duties a human being has to perform are higher than those of animals, and those who are always engaged in simply feeding their hungry stomachs. Yet yet the modern soul, the modern soul-killing civilization has only increased the population. The problem of hungry stomach, and when we approached a Polish animal in the form of modern civilized man and asked him to take interest in self-realization, he will say he simply wants to work to satisfy his stomach, and there is no need for self-realization for a hungry man. The laws of nature are so cruel that, however, despite his denunciation for the need of self-realization, his eagerness to work too hard to fulfill his stomach, he will always be threatened by unemployment. We are given this theme from life, not to work hard like asses, finds a dog, but to attain the perfection of life. We do not care for self-realization. The result will be that we can scroll down to the result will be that the laws of nature will force us to work very hard, even though we may not want to do so. Human this age have been therefore human beings in this age have been therefore forced to work hard like asses and bullocks that pull the carts. Some of the regions where the sewers are sent to work are revealed in this verse of Śrī Īśopaniṣad. If a man fails to discharge his duty and as a human being, he is forced to migrate to the third planets and take part in the degraded species of life and work hard in ignorance and darkness. In the BG 641 to 43, it is stated man who enters upon the process of civilization but is not completed the process despite having sincerely tried to realize his relationship With God, he is given a chance to appear in a Brahmana family. Again, appear in a family of Suchi or Srimad. The word Suchi indicates a spiritually advanced Brahmana, and Srimad indicates Vaishya, a member of the merchant community. So a person who evolves to achieve civilization is given a better chance in his next life due to his sincere efforts, and even if a fallen candidate is given a chance to take birth in a respectable and known family, one can hardly imagine the status of the man who has achieved success by attempting to realize God. One is guaranteed birth in a wealthy or aristocratic family, but those who do not even make an attempt to want to be covered by illusion are too attached to the material wealth or activities or enjoyment must enter into the darkest region of hell. It's confirmed throughout the Vedic literature that material suras and things make a show of religion, but their ultimate aim is material prosperity. The BG 16:17 to 18 rebukes such men by calling them Atmasambhavita, meaning that they are considered great only on the strength of deception and are empowered by the votes of ignorant and by their own material wealth. Jasuras are devoted to revelation and knowledge of Isvasya. Towards universal proprietors who are certain to enter into the darkest regions of hell. The conclusion is that human beings we are not meant simply for solving economic problems on a tottering platform, but for solving problems of real life into which we have been placed by the laws of nature. Okay, yes, bro.
Haribol, thank you, Prabhu. Okay, now who wants to read? Hare Krishna, Nil Prabhu, Tandar Param, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhannu Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
You want to read, Prabhu?
Prabhu, you continue.
Yes, Prabhu, okay. Text mantra number 4. Anejadekam manaso javiyo naina deva apnuvan purvamarshad taddavatonya natyeti tishta tasmin napo matarishva dadati. Word to word. Anejat fixed, a calm one. Manasaha, then the mind. Javya, more swift. Na, not, and not the Supreme Lord. Devaha, the demigods, like Indra. Apnuvan, can approach. Purvam, in front. Arshat, moving quickly. Tat, he. Davataha, those who are running. Anyan, others. Atyati, surpasses. Tishtat, remaining in one place. Tasmin, in him. Apaha, rain. Matarishva, the gods who control the wind and rain. Tadati, supply. Translation. Although fixed in his abode, the personality of Godhead is swifter than the mind and can overcome all others running. The powerful demigods cannot approach him. Although in one place he controls those who supply the air and rain, he surpasses all in excellence. Purport. Through mental speculation, even the greatest philosopher cannot know the Supreme Lord, who is the absolute personality of Godhead. He can be known only by his devotees through his mercy. In the Brahma Samhita 534, it is stated that even if a non-devotee philosopher travels through space at the speed of the wind or the mind or for hundreds of millions of years, he will still find that the absolute truth is far, far away from him. The Brahma Samhita 537 further describes that the absolute person of Godhead has his transcendental abode known as Goloka, where he remains and engages in his pastimes. Yet by his inconceivable potencies, he can simultaneously reach every part of his creative energy. In the Vishnu Purana, his potencies are compared to the heat and light that emanate from a fire. Although situated in one place, a fire can distribute its light and heat for some distance. Similarly, the absolute personality of Godhead, although fixed in his transcendental abode, can diffuse his different energies everywhere. Although his energies are innumerable, they can be divided into three principal categories: the internal potency, the marginal potency, and the external potency. There are hundreds and millions of subheadings to each of these categories. The dominating demigods who are empowered to control and administer such natural phenomena as air, light, and air rain are all classified within the marginal potency of the Absolute Truth. Lesser living beings, including humans, also belong to the Lord's marginal potency. The material world is the creation of the Lord's eternal potency, and the spiritual sky where the kingdom of God is situated is the manifestation of his internal potency. Thus the different energies of the Lord are present everywhere. Although the Lord and his energies are non-different, one should not mistake these energies for the Supreme Truth, nor should one wrongly consider that the Supreme Lord is distributed everywhere, impersonally, or that he loses his personal existence. Men are accustomed to reach conclusions according to their capacity for understanding. But the Supreme Lord is not subjected to our limited capacity for understanding. It is for this reason that the Upanishads warn us that no one can approach the Lord by his own limited potency. In the Bhagavad Gita 10.2, the Lord says that not even the great rishis and shuras can know him. And what to speak of the asuras, for whom there is no question of understanding the ways of the Lord. This fourth mantra of Śrī Īśopaniṣad very clearly suggests that the absolute truth is ultimately the absolute person. Otherwise, there would have been no need to mention so many details in support of his personal features. Although the individual parts and parcels of the Lord's potencies have all the symptoms of the Lord himself, they have limited spheres of activity and are therefore all limited. The parts and parcels are never equal to the whole, therefore they cannot appreciate the Lord's full potency. Under the influence of material nature, foolish and ignorant living beings, who are but parts and parcels of the Lord, try to conjecture about the Lord's transcendental position. Śrī Īśopaniṣad warns of the futility of trying to establish the identity of the Lord through mental speculation. One should try to learn of the transcendence from the Lord himself, the supreme source of the Vedas, for the Lord alone has full knowledge of the transcendence. Every part and parcel of the complete whole is endowed with some particular energy to act according to the Lord's will. When the part and parcel living entity forgets his particular activity under the Lord's will, he is considered to be in Maya, illusion. Thus, from the very beginning, Śrī Īśopaniṣad warns us to be very careful to play the part designated for us by the Lord. This does not mean that the individual soul has no initiative of his own. Because he is part and parcel of the Lord, he must partake of the initiative of the Lord as well. When a person properly utilizes his initiative or active nature with intelligence, understanding that everything is the Lord's potency, he can revive his original consciousness, which was lost due to the association with Maya and the external energy. All power is obtained from the Lord. Therefore, each particular power must be utilized to execute the will of the Lord and not otherwise. The Lord can be known by one who has adopted such a submissive service attitude. Perfect knowledge means knowing the Lord in all his features, knowing his potencies, and knowing how the potencies work by his will. These matters are described by the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita, the essence of all the Upanishads. Okay, Haribol. Now let's go to Sixastakam prayers, and tomorrow we continue, or Friday. No, I mean Saturday, we continue from text number 5. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamaha davagninirvapanam Shreyah kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamritasvadanam sarvatmasnapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam.
Namnamakari bahuda nija sarva shakti statrar pitanya smaranena kalaha etadrishi tava kripan bhagavan mamapi durdaiva metrisham hajinanurakraha.
Trinadapi sunicena tarorapi sahishnuna manina manadena kirtaniya sata hari. न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितं वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद्भक्तिरहैतुकी त्वयि.
Ainanda tanuja.
Haribo.
Okay, Fuel. Ainanda tanuja kinkaraं tatika maam vishame bhoma bhatoh कृपाय तव पाद पंकज सित धूलि सदृशं विंचितायः.
Nayanam galada shrudaraya vadanam gadgadarudaya gira pulakairina chitam vapukada tavanam agrahane bhavishyati.
युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रविर्शायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे.
Asisleva padaratham pinastumam adarshanam marmam hatam karotuva yata tatava vidatulan pato matpranana tastusa eva narpana.
Haribo. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Almighty Lord,
Almighty
I have
Lord,
no desire.
Oh,
Yes,
Haribo.
Prabhu, go ahead, Prabhu. No, Prabhu, please go ahead,
Maharaj,
please. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Karti Prabhu Tanda Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, all goes to Prabhupada. Sorry for joining late. I was just busy with cooking. So
Oh,
tomorrow I will join on time.
yeah, that's very good.
Prabhu. Do you come from Himalayan mountains, Prabhu?
No. I got nice slaps from Maya because of neglecting reading sessions, so I will come back. And can I read this one or Labang Prabhu? You can go ahead if you want. I can read the next one as well.
You can read, Prabhu. We miss your voice.
Okay, Prabhu. 4. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your costless devotional service birth after birth. 5. O son of
O son of
Maharaj Nanda. Oh my God. Okay, bro, go ahead. I'm sorry.
O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal savior, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Govinda, feeling your separations, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but
I know
Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord unconditionally.
Haribo, Shri Siksastakam ki jai.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Bahujana kare yadi Shravana Kirtan Tabutana Paya Krishna Pade Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many births, he will not get the love of God, and that is the ultimate goal of this chanting.
Offense 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
2, to consider the names of the demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or independent of the names of the Lord Vishnu.
3. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literatures or literatures in pursuance of the Vedic virtue.
5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination.
6. To give some mundane interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord.
8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic. Go down, Prabhu. Semi Prabhu. Okay, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda.
9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names, and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, which is Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who can fulfill the desires of everyone, and who are just like desired trees, and are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Jai Radhe Vancha Guru Vishta Kripa Sindhu
Kripasindevasam Paritam
Nistanam
Pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo
Namo Namaha.
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Haribo.
Prabhu, we must read the
Prabhu,
next one. I am Om Vishnu Para
Shantapati
Paramhamsa.
Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. I was waiting for you to say it, Swami Prabhu. You're the
I
most
was waiting
senior
for
after
Paramahansa.
Gaurashakti Prabhu here. What you're saying, what simply,
Ganga
simple,
Maiya ki
great.
jai, Yamuna Maiya ki jai.
Jai.
Where Ganga Maya came, oh my God. Okay,
Prabhu, we
Jai.
must read them every day. Sami Prabhu.
समस्त
Okay,
भक्तविंद की जय.
Jai.
Jai.
I think we
New
can read
Maharaj
them.
ki Jai.
Jai.
कार्ती महाराज की जय.
Jai.
Maharaj
Wait,
ki
wait, wait.
jai.
Wait, hold on,
महाराज
hold
की
on, hold
जय.
on, hold on, hold on. Hold on. So, Swami Prabhu, can we read the Prema Dhwani prayers as well? Simply for practice.
Yes, Prabhu. I was saying we should
Yes,
read them every day, Prabhu.
Practice, is it? Okay, who's gonna read?
Yeah.
Swami Prabhu, you gonna read?
Jai Om Vishnupad Pariham. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Stottara Shata Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
जय.
Jaya Om Vishnu Para Paramhamsa Parahari Parivrajacharya Ashtotara Sata Shrimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai.
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 This is hard word, this long.
Parivrajak Acharya.
Parivraja.
See. Hold on.
Acharya.
It's like this. Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramhamsa Parivrajak Acharya Ashtottar Shachashvi Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. With
Jai.
Parivrajak
Haribol,
Acharya.
Parivraja Acharya.
Karti
Parivrajak
Maharaj.
Acharya. Oh no, not me. I'm
Karti
sure
Prabhu,
even Neil Prabhu can.
I'm gonna create your PDF Prabhu. That has your name.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna
Ananta
put your
Labahang
Koti
picture
Prabhu.
Vaishnav
as
Vrinda ki jai.
I think Labahang Prabhu, I have to like ban you from the Ishtagoshtis. Okay.
Oh,
Or no, Prabhu, I'm coming South Africa. You wait, Prabhu. I'm coming with my special weapons
oh, the
to seize
Gandiva
you,
Prabhu.
and
You coming with the Gandiva.
I will kidnap you and take you to India.
Oh, like Sita Prabhu. Ravana to Sita.
Yes, but this is permanent kidnapping. Okay. You know what? Let's read the whole thing from scratch again. I think Neil Prabhu, you do it. You read from the start, like no interruption.
Okay.
One person read, okay? And everybody say
Okay,
Jai
Prabhu.
after Jai. So you give like 1 second so that we all can say Jai. Just keep that in mind. Okay, Hari.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa परिव्रजकाचार्य अस्तोत्तरा सतः श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय.
Jai.
Jai.
जय ओम विष्णुपादाय परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अस्तोत्तरा सतः श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय.
Jai.
Jai.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय.
Jai.
Jai.
नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय.
Jai.
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय.
Jai.
Jai.
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपी गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय.
Jai.
Jai.
या नेक्स्ट लाइन. यस वो वृंदावन धाम की जय. नवदीप धाम की जय.
Jai.
गंगा माई की
जय.
जय. यमुना माई की जय.
जय,
तुलसी
जय.
देव की जय.
Jai.
भक्ति देवी की जय.
Jai.
Jai.
समवेद समवेद भक्त वृंद की जय.
Jai.
Jai.
गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, for your associate.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay,
Gaura
tomorrow.
Shakti
Devam Prabhu,
Prabhu ki jai.
Thank you.
Devam Prabhu, did you watch that playlist?
Thank you
Yes,
very much,
Prabhu.
Prabhu, for your